Hello, it's the weekend again, so we have a beer to talk about. This is champagne IPA, brute IPA, whatever you want to call it, and it's an abject failure, really. That's all I can say. Came out at 1006, and it wasn't till later, after the brew and everything, that I got the OG, which came out 1006. I checked the amylase that I used, and it was out best before end of February 2020, I think it was. It's about it a fair while. So I can just say that it's just failed again. I mean, the beer itself isn't too bad. I didn't want it to be very bitter because it was going to be very dry. But because of the sweetness, the bitterness is just enough. With it being 006, there's just enough bitterness there to hold it. I was wanting it like a champagne-y, style-y beer, but I mean, it's only been in the keg 3 days, and I'm holding it at 20 psi, and I want it to be heavily carved. Like a pilsner, like champagne sort of thing. I mean, it's difficult to get it up to that. Hopefully it will clear up a bit better than that. But we live and learn. I should have chucked that amylase and got some fresh. I thought it's been so long since I've done one. It must be 4 or 5 years. I just didn't think about it. Didn't think. It's like we just lost 2 years, haven't we? 2020. Yeah, 2020 and 2021. We're in 2022 now, so I've totally lost 2 years. Feels like. But yeah, as a beer, it'll be alright. It'll probably be like a Kolsch-ish thing. Anyway, so that was that. Citra and Hallertau Blanc in it. The flavours, it's not very citrusy. I mean, it's quite cold. It's at about 4.5 degrees in the teas or so. The flavours, it is a little bit of a dry, thin mouthfeel, bit of bitterness. I suppose quite. It'll probably be alright in sort of summer as a beer. Winter, obviously not. I mean, but I was doing a champagne IPA. It'll get drunk. It's not my best, that's for damn sure. Yeah, it's just a beer. Anyway, moving on from that, I watched Dickie's video on his 5-point star bitter, best bitter, and that got me getting thirsty, wanting a bitter, wanting something on the hand pull. So I put together a recipe Thursday, I think, Friday. Oh, it was yesterday, I think. Put together a recipe. So I'll quickly go through it here. So I've gone style best bitter with an OG 1.044, FG 1.011 supposedly, so it should be about 4.3%, 32.3 IBUs, which gives it a boogie around about 7. So 0.7 obviously. So I've gone with 4 kilos of Marisotta, 100 grams of torrefied wheat, 100 grams of special B, 100 grams of Crystal 150 and 100 grams of Crystal 400. Hops Challenger for bittering at the 60-minute mark. Just it's going to give me about 15.6 IBUs. That. Then I've got was it a 20-minute edition? Yeah, 30 grams of Fuggles at 20 minutes, and then 20 grams of Fuggles at 10 minutes. And then 50 grams of Fuggles at flame out. Well, I'll be doing like a whirlpool about 75 degrees. Yeah, West Yorkshire, Hill Yeast. So it sounds alright, isn't it? Should get some toffee caramelly notes there, with a bit of special B in there. Might get a bit of marmaladiness in there with the Fuggles and the Challenger. What could go wrong? Famous last words. Well, so I thought I fancied a Yorkshire bitter as well. Well, just a bitter. I fancy a bit. And this is all I could find. What was it? Yorkshire bitter. Sainsbury's. It is so hard to find what is classed as a bitter. It really is. I mean, this is brewed for Sainsbury's by Black Sheep Brewery, and yet their beer, the Black Sheep Bitter, isn't a bitter. It's an amber ale, according to their bottle. What else was there? Yeah, I saw there was Kentish ales, strong ales. Theakston's is an old ale, isn't it? I just couldn't find amber ales, pale ales. Yeah, so difficult. That was the only actual bitter I could find. Yeah, everything else is a type of ale, really, it seems. So I'm looking forward to. I'm gonna have that a bit later. I'll have that whilst watching the football. 3 o'clock kickoff for Liverpool v Norwich. Yeah. So that's my mindset. Is now I've moved on from this. I'm now thinking bitter, and I want a bitter. I'm starting to feel the cold again. You just think, don't you? It's like, oh, have you had a good day? It's nice and warm. It's starting to pick up. No, you got to remember it's fucking February. We'll chuck a few storms at you and then freeze you again, just to keep you on your toes. Well, not really much more to report. It's I'm on holiday now for half term. Just started. Not back till March, so happy days, and I'll get this brew done. It's Yorkshire bitter. I've still got the Sabro Gesture, which is actually not bad now. It's quite alright. It's really settled down and mellowed out, and it's quite tasty. In fact, I was watching Big Banana's video. He was doing a beer review, and it was a vacant gesture. So that's got him wanting to do one now. But, yeah, vacant gesture. It's just a classic recipe. It is. It's a bloody brilliant recipe. But just trying hops in it and getting the use of different hops. Because instead of doing smash beers, you've got a nice, good bodied amber ale to do it with, and it works perfectly with it. So yeah. So this will get drunk and will be consigned to history. I will one of these days get one of these sodding brutes done and get it done properly. I have to get a packet. Dino, you did his Nectaron brewed IPA, and it sounded fantastic. I already had this planned and was doing it because I'd seen it in a champagne IPA in the new version of the Bible, the New Testament. That got me wanting to do it again because I tried it years ago. Fucked up that one. Put the amylase in the mash instead of the fermentation, and this time the amylase is old and dead. I got as far as 1006, which is alright, I suppose, ish, for what it was doing, but I think that's mostly come from the actual USO5 itself rather than anything else. And I suppose I should have done the mash at 62 as well. Instead I did it at 65 without thinking. So anyway, I better go now. The match will be kicking off shortly. I want to get settled in with my beer and some beer snacks. Yeah, so thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.